What the hell was that? Newcastle United come away with an absolutely beautiful, hard-fought, well-earned and downright impressive 3-1 away win against a 15-man Aston Villa. Let's talk about it. What's up everybody, I am Collinho and this is YouTube's newest Newcastle United fan channel. We'll be covering the usual match reactions, latest news and developments, some tactical analyses, though I don't by any means claim to have all of my coaching badges, and also there'll be match day vlogs anytime I can get myself to the tune for a match. You might be wondering, why does this Southern Fairy support Newcastle United? Well, my dad was a Geordie. I got into football as a wee lad during the Keegan era. I loved the black and white, and to be honest, I didn't have much of a say in the matter. So, without further ado, I need to talk about the absurdity of last night's officiating at Villa Park. Now, that peculiar fellow, Dion Dublin, was on BBC last night saying at halftime that we were pretty poor and didn't really offer much, which really annoyed me, to be honest, because I'd already had enough of Danny Murphy's seemingly anti-Newcastle commentary by that point. I thought we played some of our best football in a while in that first half, but it seemed as though every decision was going against us. One of those being the first goal, which was about 35 miles offside. And if you watch it back, it looks as though half the Villa team are offside as well, despite not being directly involved in the goal. I was losing my rag at this point, but hey, we've seen them given countless times. The thing is, we've become used to VAR stepping in to prevent that kind of mistake from happening. Well, it wasn't coming to our rescue this time, and the goal was given. Crazy. There were also several fouls that weren't given, and at least a couple of penalty shouts. For me, Lewis Hall's was stonewall. It was around the 20-minute mark that he goes on a typical Lewis Hall run, dinks into the box, goes down, and for me, it seemed as though there was definite contact. But no, not given. My blood pressure was literally reaching dangerous levels at this point, and my dog, God bless him, suffered an indirect slap from my hand smacking the sofa. And if you're putting my dog's safety at risk, who's also black and white by the way, that's not planned, then you're really pushing your luck, mate. Don't worry, my dog survived. Then followed a lovely chipped ball from Hall into the final third for Barnes to run onto, who also went down near the byline, but nothing doing from my mate the ref and his lovely assistants. My fiancée was starting to show genuine concern for my well-being at this point, but we carried on. The match progresses and Nicholas Voltemada squares the ball to Trips, who then slips the ball into Jacob Murphy, who in turn is then scythed down by Lucas Digne in what can only be described as an act of grievous bodily harm. Honestly, I was expecting to see SWAT teams swarm the pitch and take him away in cuffs. Forget a red card, but what did he get? A yellow. I thought, highway ref, he's got to go, but no, my villainous origins arc was literally now complete. That was a disgusting, disgraceful, studs up challenge, and the lad should have been off. No question about it. If VAR was there, 100% he'd have been gone. I was genuinely thinking, this has gone beyond complete incompetence now. What on earth is going on? Well, the worst was yet to come. As the half ended, as we all know, a moment of madness came from Bizot, which set the scene for a tasty second half. I mean, what was he thinking? God only knows. He went full Popey for a second there. I mean, honestly, I'm joking. I love Nick Pope. So there we were, into the second half, playing pretty good football, showing a lot of desire to be the first of the ball. When Trips receives the ball at the far edge of the box, he attempts to float one in, but that absolute fugitive Digne, who should have been before a judge at this point, jumped up and blocked it with his arm, a good 50, 60 light years inside the box. The foul's given. Everyone on the commentary is saying, penalty, penalty. Everyone in the known universe is doing the same. But your man, Chris Kavanagh, and his mate, the Lino, see fit to give a free kick just outside the box. Chaos ensues. My fiance's run away with the dogs by this point. The United States is at DEFCON 1, and I'm seconds away from needing a new TV. The incredulity of it. I could not believe my eyes. It was peak injustice. Well, lo and behold, karma decided to pay a visit. and ensure harmony in the space-time continuum. And Sandro, ole, 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 drives one in, deflection and all, and brings the score level. Never in my life have I felt a sense of justice more than this moment. I mean, honestly. The game goes on. We're stretching 14-man Villa, making great use of the space, showing great desire to win the game when the ball comes to Burn, who knows to lay it off to the midfield maestro, who drives another absolute bullet straight into the bottom corner of the net to complete our revenge and bring balance to the force. Order in the universe was restored. I could no longer speak, and everything was right in the world. A frankly beaten and lethargic Villa, who have been outstanding this season, don't get me wrong, and a far better team in the Prem than us, thought it was a great idea to play a few little triangles at the back, only for us to pounce on a stray ball and Big Nick to fire the third home for a late slice of justice pie. Exquisite. But what the hell was that referee? There were 4 of them on that pitch. What is the point of all those eyes? What's the point of the mics? Surely one of the assistants could have called out those blatant errors from the ref on each occasion. I mean, if there was ever a case for the benefits of VAR, this was it. We often moan about VAR and how it slows the game down, and it does. Don't get me wrong, it's an imperfect system, I think, but it has plenty of room to develop and improve, which we're slowly seeing in the Prem and other competitions with things like semi-automated offside decisions. Bottom line though, even if it's slowing the game down, I'd rather have that and get the right decision than not have it and potentially be on the end of a litany of bad calls that could have cost us the game last night, or indeed any team out there in any game at this level. Now, I'm not going to sit here and claim that they've been paid off or anything like that, but that truly was a demonstration of how bad a person, or indeed a group of people, can be at their jobs. We genuinely could have and probably should have been 1 or 2 goals up, as well as 1 or 2 men up at the break and gone on to win the game at a canter. But that wasn't to be, and levels of incompetence I've not seen in a while at best made it harder than it needed to be, and at worst nearly cost us the game. Why is the standard of refereeing in this country getting worse and worse? Perhaps it was as Shearer said on TV, the VAR is making them too reliant upon bailouts, but this complacency and laziness simply cannot be tolerated, and I really, really do hope that Newcastle United make a complaint to the PGMOL. They probably won't, but I wish they would. Lessons need to be learned here. All in all, we won the game. We won. Away, we won. Without Bruno G. And you know what? I thought we played bloody brilliantly. There was a clear sense of desire, the passing better, the movement better. Playing Voltemada in what seemed like a 9.5 position was what we've all been wanting to see, though he still has room for improvement, which is always a good thing. It was all around a solid performance at a very, very difficult ground to go to, and I am so proud of the lads and so happy for Eddie Howe, who has had it really hard lately, which we all know. And that's a topic for another day, which I am sure will come up again soon. But for now, we press on in the Cup, we press on in Europe, and we hope for better days in the league. Do consider subscribing for more, and as always, how are the lads?